This room would be so lovely if it weren't so cluttered. When I'm living here, I'll throw out all the rubbish, which, let's face it, is practically everything. And I've always thought copper-coloured curtains would be simply divine. Don't you think they look rather lovely in the setting sun?
Are you thinking of buying, then, Elsa?
That won't be necessary.
You seem to have lost me, my dear.
All this pretense, it's so dishonest. Amias and I love each other and we're going to be married, so I shall be moving in.
As I suspected, my dear. You're completely insane.
The bloody beast's giving me the most frightful indigestion.
Ask Mrs. Spriggs for some bicarbonate of soda.
Good thinking.
By the way, Elsa says you want to marry her. Is this true? Is it true?
It's only fair that she should know.
Amias, is it true? Then it is.
If you'll excuse me, I'll just... You know, looking back, I wouldn't be surprised if she'd made up her mind to kill him then.
Amias, do tidy yourself up. We're going over to Meredith's for tea, remember?
Oh yes, I'd forgotten.
Philip, you should do some fishing while you're here. The sea's probably swarming with mackerel.
So we all trooped off to Mary's. Not very merry that afternoon.
Amias can't do this.
Looks like he's going to.
He can't just leave his wife and child for some slip of a girl. She's too young to know what she's doing.
She knows, all right. Poor old Mary. All that sensitivity. No use at all. Hard to believe we come from the same stable. After tea, he took us to his lab.
Conine. I've never heard of this.
It's distilled from the flowers of the spotted hemlock. It's highly poisonous, but it can be efficacious in the treatment of whooping cough.
Then he had the cheek to read us some classical tripe about the death of Socrates or Plato or some such nonsense.
The man who administered the poison pinched his foot and asked if he felt it. Socrates said no. Then he did the same to his legs, and gradually, moving upwards in this way, he let us see that he was getting cold and numb. He said that when it reached the heart, Socrates would be gone.
Back at HQ that evening, Amias and Angela had a god almighty row about something or other. But that was nothing out of the ordinary. I even think she might have thrown something at him.
Can you remember what?
Good Lord, no. It was 14 years ago.
Oh, yes, of course. You are being most helpful, Monsieur Blake.
The next morning, when I came downstairs, I heard Amias and Caroline at it in the library. I don't know where they got the energy from.
I swear to God. You and your women. Someday I'll kill you, Amias. Don't be an idiot. I swear to God I will.
Good morning.
Lovely day.
I want to get on.
I'll go change.
Don't be long. Bloody women.
And off he went back to his painting, while I went back inside. Oh, good morning.
It's too cruel. Too cruel.
She hardly noticed me. Now, of course, I know why. Hello? What the hell's the matter?
I heard these noises in the laboratory. So I went to have a look. The quinine bottle was not only out of place, but it was practically empty. And I swear to you, Phil, that yesterday it was full.
Are you sure?
Of course I'm sure. I'm very careful about these things.
And I knew at once it must have been Caroline. I should have gone straight to Amias and warned him.
That's absurd. Caroline wouldn't dream of such a thing.
Then what's your explanation?
We'll discuss it after lunch.
I'll see to her packing. What are you two up to?
We were
Oh, what a surprise.
Yes,
We were just having a chat about Angela and school. I'm not at all sure it's the right thing.
Sorry about that. Hello, everybody.
I'd kill for a cold beer.
I'll send some down. I think we could all do with one.
And that's when it happened.
Why don't I take it?
Oh, no. Enjoy the sun.
At the time, I reasoned in my regeneracy that she couldn't stand the thought of the two of them being alone together. I should have realized, but instead I just sat and watched. I had the chance to save him, and I did nothing.
You reproach yourself unduly, Monsieur Blake.
Amos didn't join us for lunch. And then Caroline took him coffee. So calm and collected, and yet she must have known by then he'd be dead. Miss Williams went with her, and then Meredith wandered off. But it wasn't long before we saw him again.
get a doctor quick.
What's wrong?
It's Amias.
What?
I'm afraid he's dead.
Amias.
Phone the doctor. I'll take care of her. She was like an avenging fury. Never seen anything like it.
You killed him. You killed him. Amias.
You've killed my dearest friend.
No. He did it himself.
Tell that to the police. But they didn't believe her either.
Bien, Monsieur Blake. The truth, it has the habit of revealing itself.